Hi, I'm the Leftover Chef, Jordan Freed.
And I'm Brendan O'Brien.
And we on the Leftover Chef go to one of our friends' houses, unexpected, and we cook them a meal based off of what is already left over in their fridge or pantry.
Today we're going to go visit Heather, Ian, and Juan Carlos. Let's see what's in their kitchen on Leftover Chef. We've come to cook your food.
This kefir is a variation of yogurt. Has some fungi there who ferments the milk. And what you do is that you just put the milk here with the fungi and you ferment it. And then you just have to strain it with this, and that's it. You have the liquid plain, which is fermented milk. Literally the hunt, that was the main food for the hunt, for Attila. That's how they used to travel, So basically, their diet was fermented milk. That's how they conquer Europe.
Yeah, yogurt conquers all countries.
I always tell people I am plant-based or vegan, except for the culture. Mm-hmm. Like if the culture warrants that I should have something that is not vegan, and now this is literally a culture that I get to eat.
To the culture's culture.
To the culture of culture. Wow, this is really good.
Wow, that's super fresh.
And it has some alcoholic.
It
becomes a little bit alcoholic.
Oh, hell, yo, we get a crunk off this yogurt.
All right, Heather, I'm so excited to dig deep into your kitchen and find out what is in here. Would you like to show me around your fridge?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. All right. We've got a lot of stuff in here. No strange combinations.
So we got some greens.
We got some greens.
Nice.
We've got lemons in there, some hummus, eggs, a leftover chunk of ham bone that we, had an idea for. But if you get an idea with it,
you have an idea for it in your own life.
Well, in our own life. But you can do whatever you want with it. In that pot is some broccoli and spinach soup.
Whoa, cool.
And then, cheeses, salsas,
Nice.
condiments, some veg.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. What type of food do you guys eat on a regular basis? Just all kinds of food?
Well, we are gluten-free.
Nice.
And we eat as much organic food as we can, organic meat when we can,
Cool.
grass-fed if we can. It all depends on what we can get our hands on, but that's important to us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything going on in the freezer?
Oh, the freezer's scary.
As the leftover chef, I love to look in people's freezers because people forget about their freezers, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't even know what this is." What?
We use it a lot, so be careful. Projectiles may.
Oh, nice. All right. No, this is an epic freezer. I
Yeah.
like it.
So we have a lot of fruits for smoothies and stuff, and just some quick meals like salmon burgers or some turkey burgers, some frozen vegetables.
Nice. You got the plantains. That's a good.
Got some plantains
call
in
with the
here. We
frozen
got some
plantains.
plantains a couple of plantains over there.
Oh.
I don't know if you're done in here.
Oh no, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
What about do you have a pantry situation going on?
Well,
Dry goods or spices?
Yeah, Okay, so those are in two different places.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
we've got a bunch of stuff here.
Nice.
You're welcome to any of it.
Cool.
This is pan lids, but we have oil and salt here, and then some beans and pastas down there, gluten-free, of course. But
Cool.
yeah, there's nothing that you can't use.
Awesome.
Okay?
Is there anything that's
There's one thing. I'll show you.
Okay.
It's for Ian's lunch.
Oh, nice.
He wants it. Okay, so here we have most of our spices.
Cool. Ooh.
Here.
Ooh.
We have some nuts, if you want or need that, and then there's some other kind of hard to see, but vinegars,
Nice.
coconut aminos, some more oil, coconut oil if you want that.
Nice. A
More
lot
in
of
here.
great stuff to cook with.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Thanks.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I am coming up with some
You
great
getting
ideas
some
right
ideas?
now. Yeah.
We have a pot of like this rice.
Nice.
That's like
Oh, then I don't have to make rice.
there's.
That's
You
like
can
the
use
leftover
that.
chef's dream.
This is the one thing.
Oh yeah.
Ian wants that for his school
Cool,
lunch.
yeah,
Very
I won't-
healthy, very
I won't-
healthy. But he's gotta have some treats too.
I won't pick out the olives. He's gonna get in there and be like, "What happened to the best part? The olives."
Yeah.
I'm saying that for my camera person who hates olives, and she's giving me a dirty look.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, so you can hang out with our good friend Mr. Beef over there, and
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, and we're back here on Leftover Chef, and today we are graced with the presence of Heather Halverson and family. Thank you so much for being on Leftover Chef
Our
today.
pleasure. We're
Yeah.
psyched. Yeah.
So like, what do you guys like? What's like one of your like go-to meals that you guys have together as a family?
Okay. Well, we eat a lot of soups. We'll make a big pot of soup and find different ways to use it all week. The first night it might be a soup. The next night it might be like we'll make rice with the soup, if that makes sense, with the liquid from the soup,
Yeah.
or we'll have, we'll add some roasted chicken to it, or something, just kind of change it up. Because we're really busy, so we tend to make big meals and then eat it like 3 times.
Yeah.
So we'll do beans. So we'll do like chilies or a pot of beans, or like a big crock pot of meat. Oh yeah, everything's with greens, of course. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're all trying to, be healthy.
Yeah.
So we try to eat as few greens as possible. So we'll make the stew and then we put it on the greens, and then that's dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you always been like pretty like health conscious when it comes to the food that you've eaten?
Yeah, we have since before Ian was born. We have been pretty good eaters, and then just trying to pass that on to him. And we're always learning because, Ian was joking with us the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, you think that the way we eat is normal? It's not normal." And Juan Carlos and I agreed, but we also said, there's a lot of people who eat better than we do, and we'd like to learn from them, and eventually, be eating even a lot better than we are now. So it's a process, right?
Yeah. So speaking about you being an educator, so when did you get into that field? Like, what was your journey of getting to where you are now in your professional life?
Well, I started off as a speech language pathologist assistant when I left college. And then I moved to New York City to try to pursue a degree in that, because there's not that many programs around. And I had a friend in New York, and they have programs here. So I moved here for that. And I wound up working in a private school where they hired me as the reading specialist, and I said, okay, I guess I better train myself to be a reading specialist. And so that's just sort of happened, and I fell in love with Cadman. I've been there ever since, and just, honing my craft.
So how that changed like between like being like a younger, like being someone who's like a single person versus like then you're like in a couple and then becoming a mom? Like, how's like the evolution of like your own personal diet change?
Okay, well, when I was single, I had no idea how to cook. I started watching the Food Network and learned how to cook, and I actually would really cook for myself because I thought it was a lot of fun. I really loved it. And I lived in New York City at the time, had some friends, and we'd go to different kinds of restaurants. You can get anything in the city, so it was a big adventure, a big food adventure, which was really fun. And then, but I mean, even before I started cooking, I was always sort of interested in like the self-improvement genre and different kinds of foods and health. And so that's just kind of started, my sister was a book publicist for the book Whole30, and that started like the next step into our eating, because we realized that like I had a wheat allergy and I didn't know that. So I was having like a lot of joint pain. And so we cut wheat out of our diet, and we cut a lot of sugars out, and we like cut back on the grains at that time. And so I think it's just like we try something new and slowly it incorporates, and some things stay and some things fall by the wayside.
Yeah, but what has been the hardest thing for you to cut out of your diet, just like over the evolution of your diet changing?
The hardest thing was carbs in the beginning.
They always get you, right?
Yeah,
The carb, yeah.
That was hard at first. Or wheat, like wheat isn't everything. So it would be hard to go to a birthday party, for example, and everyone's having cake, and you can have the cake. But eventually, it just gets you don't even think about it because you know that you're gonna feel terrible if you eat that cake, and you don't want the cake, you know. So that process happened, which was really nice. And now I would say the hardest thing is we don't eat a lot of sugar, but sometimes we'll like make the gluten-free brownies, and it sneaks in. Yeah.
What about when you were a kid? Like, what was did your parents cook a lot?
We had a horrible diet. Sorry, Mom. We had a horrible diet when we were younger. There weren't a lot of vegetables. The vegetables that we had were like really overcooked mostly, and there were a lot of carbs. You know, a lot of pasta, a lot of potato. I mean, potato isn't an enemy, but you know, when there's so much of just like carb. So I learned a lot about food, and then I met Juan Carlos, and he brought in his Ecuadorian side of food, and so we kind of combined our food lifestyles, and we're pretty happy with how it's going overall.
So how has Juan Carlos's Ecuadorian background, the way that he uses spices or recipes, affected the way that you cook yourself?
Sure. A lot more spice. We sometimes have spice arguments, but for the most part, I like spice too.
Wait, what's a spice argument? Do you like throw spices at each other? Or do
I have thrown the cayenne into the garbage because sometimes the food is so spicy I can't eat it. But you know, of course we try to compromise. But on the rare occasion when I lost it, cayenne in the garbage.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's not really even mostly about the spice. I would say we definitely eat more rice than I would have in my family, and more avocado, plantain. I never had plantain. Cilantro.
Okay,
I never had cilantro.
That's a game changer.
So now we love all of those things, and I would say those are the main components of, you know, the main changers in food. Yeah.
What kind of food would you say that you eat the most consistently, like on a regular basis, like during like a regular week that you're functioning?
We always have greens. Even at breakfast usually, because we tend to eat leftovers for breakfast. We're the perfect people for leftovers.
You're the leftover family already.
We are. And I would say, Juan Carlos, we do the celery juice in the morning every day, coffee every day, but I don't know, we have, I don't know the answer to that. We have a lot of variety.
Yeah. When it comes to coffee, since you mentioned coffee, like are you like very particular about your coffee?
Yes.
Yeah, what kind of coffee do you guys get?
We like organic, shade grown, medium roast, whole bean coffee.
Wow.
And we have a little, not to sound like a coffee snob, but we have a grinder, so we grind it right before we
have a grinder too. Okay. Makes you feel better.
All right, thank you. Yeah. And we do pour overs, but Juan Carlos does like the espresso, what's that called? The AeroPress, like an espresso shot. Okay. I do the pour over. And we love our coffee. Yeah.
In your kitchen, what would you say is the most important appliance for you to have?
For me, I love my food processor, and the lemon and lime squeezer. What's that called?
Let's call it the lemon and lime squeezer,
you,
right?
Lemon and lime squeezer.
You know, we'll Google it after this, and then we'll insert it right here. Okay.
I think Juan Carlos is the Vitamix.
Okay.
The blender.
Yeah.
Those are the top appliances that we love our immersion blender.
What
for soups, like you put the vegetables in the soup, and then it's a stick blender, and so it can like make the soup creamy, but just by using the vegetables, you know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
That's a great one.
Is there anything that is commonly in dishes that you like? Any kind of ingredients or food that you don't like that you like wish wouldn't be in the food as much?
Yes.
Yeah. What is it?
Because we eat way too much cheese. I can't believe I haven't even mentioned cheese this whole time because
try to put it out of mind.
Oh my God.
Just keeping the cheese way up there, away
just
from
pretending
you.
we only eat healthy. Yeah. Come on, the cheese is just so good, and we all love it. And we do have a tendency to to sprinkle shredded cheese on like every bowl of soup we have, you know, and it makes it just so good. I do wish we could cut back a little bit on the cheese.
Yeah, what's your favorite cheese?
I don't have a plan for that right now, though.
No, eventually. That's in the near future. Future you will deal with the cheese.
In the future.
Yeah. What's your favorite cheese, though?
My favorite cheese is a Merlot cheese, and I don't remember the exact name of it, but I know where it is at the grocery store, and I always gravitate towards it. It's so good. Yeah. I love feta. I love cheddar. I don't think I met a cheese that I haven't liked. I like it all.
That's the tagline right there.
Yeah.
Have you noticed like kids, like from what you observe, like do they like tend to eat like a little on the healthier side, or like are kids like still like getting into the junk food like we always did back in the day?
Yeah, well, that's a really great question. I think that there's a lot more conversation.
Ian is shaking his head yes off camera.
I think that there's a lot more conversation about food. When I was a kid, it was more like, you know, your parents cook something, you sit down, you eat it, and not a lot of talk about what was really in it or methods that you cook to try to make it healthier, at least not in my household. But I know at my school, like we do a whole, my school is just amazing. It's the Cadman School in New York City. And they do we do a whole unit in 1st and 2nd grade on where does your food come from, to make sure that kids know where, you know, what is this radish and what does it look like when it's not in my hand, right? Like what does it grow in the ground? Does it grow from a tree? Whatever, you know, kids don't know.
Right.
And I think that is a trend. I mean, we're not the only school doing that kind of curriculum, but it's, I think, you know, when we didn't have that kind of stuff in our schools when we were growing up. So I think that it's getting better.
All right, so we have right here a little bit of a volcano, the Leftover Chef volcano. It has the elements of your leftover rice. It also has some hummus and beans for protein, a little crossover, and then we also have some fresh veggies in the form of tomatoes and carrots. So it is a combination. In the beans, I season those with Parmesan truffle.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff that looked interesting.
Mancha, mancha. Cheers. Oh, yeah, I love the hummus. Like, the way it's the rice, it sort of melts with the rice when you, That's awesome. George.
That's a volcano
That's
in my
really
mouth
good.
for sure.
You have to have the spice in there if you're gonna call it volcano.
Yep.
It's awesome. It's delicious.
What's the spiciest thing you've ever eaten?
Ghost pepper? Yeah, ghost pepper.
Wait, what is it?
Ghost pepper.
Oh yeah.
I have a friend from Trinidad. He used to make goat, curry goat, and he used the ghost pepper. It was pretty spicy.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Yeah. Do you do you really like to eat spicy food most of the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, it's kind of, you become addicted.
Yeah, like you're like
It's a rush. It's
Yes.
a rush. It
Yes.
gives you.
So like you enjoy like the feeling of like the hotness taking over your body, like the sweat coming in.
Yeah, very enjoyable. But lately, a little bit painful too for the stomach.
Right, yeah.
So I have to.
Right.
You have to find the balance.
You want the spice up here, but you don't want the spice down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite meal to make?
I love to make paella. Paella. I'm making my own paella, my own version.
Okay.
Leftovers too.
Yeah. Ian, so you are a world-renowned soccer star, as we know. He's humble. He's so humble. So like after a game, I'm sure you probably get hungry, right? So like, what are some of the things that you crave after playing, doing any kind of sports or outdoor activity?
Well, probably it's not really hunger. Probably just Gatorade or a drink usually.
Yes.
After a sports event.
What's your favorite color/flavor of Gatorade?
Lemonade. I think lime. I don't know what's the exact name for it, but
The
yellow one.
Yellow one. Yeah. That's also my favorite too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we eat a lot of Korean food.
After
Korean?
the game. Oh yeah.
Oh really? Yeah. What now? Like talking about cream barbecue or like some japchae? What are we talking about?
The tofu.
Oh, tofu soup. Ooh, tofu soup.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
They love when we go out. Usually we go to the.
Do you have a specific place that you like to go to?
Tofu House. It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Riverside.
No, Ridgewood.
Ridgewood.
Yes. Yeah.
Ultimate question. Who is your favorite cook?
Now Ian's Nazi.
Each one of them has a
Be
different dish
careful.
that cooks. Each one of them cooks better.
Good politician.
So some dishes my dad cooks better, and some dishes my mom cooks better, and so there's no real better in that.
Yeah. What's your favorite dish that your mom cooks, and what's your favorite dish that your dad cooks?
Well, my dad the paella, and my mom lasagna.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you guys all for joining us on The Leftover Chef. This has been Brendan O'Brien, and I'm Jordan Freed.
Thank you, Heather.
My pleasure.